Hit us with the accent, dude.
I think we're already in.
I mean, we're in, but you can still do Borat.
Yeah, it's never too late for Borat.
I'm gonna try to think of how he sounds. Keep this in. How does Borat sound? My wife. That's the only part I know.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Nimbus Tattoo Podcast. I am Michael, that old crap Michael. Today we're joined with the ever handsome Mitchell. Mitchell, what's your it?
It's tattoo breakfast. You dropped Borat and became Carl Weezer halfway through.
Yeah, I know. Still like really bad European accent on it.
That's good.
Hello, Chris. What is your at sign?
Hat sign.
Yes.
Chris House _tattoo.
Now back in my country, we don't have cell phone.
I feel like I understand the character, but it still feels wrong.
We have gold.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, Europeans are white.
And that has nothing to do with it.
We gotta cut it out.
It just more so just feels wrong. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not cutting this out.
You're not cutting this out?
John's reckless today.
It's fine, dude.
I don't care.
I think it's fine.
No, like you know how
It's
something
funny.
something isn't
like
bad,
part
but like
German.
it just feels
It
wrong.
feels like it should be bad.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where you feel like in 5 years someone's gonna go back and be like, "Hey, you shouldn't have
Remember
done
when
that."
Michael did that European accent? That was a little questionable, even though his ancestry is from Europe.
I don't know.
Dude, I'm default white, just for the record. So like, those are my peeps.
I'm sorry.
My
Good to
great
know.
great great grandfather's probably a fucking goat herder.
Well, thank y'all today for joining us. We have a lot of great topics to talk about.
Thank you, Mitchell.
Yeah, you want to open it up?
So, we got a lot of stuff to cover today. Got a couple good topics. I put up a little questionnaire about guest spots, about conventions. I put up the New York story thing. I'm gonna check the results of the New York poll live on the air for the Nimbronies. Here we are. We're opening it up. Don't look at my password. Okay. We're opening up the Instagram for the audio listeners. Audio listeners, I have switched accounts. Ooh, we got a new follower.
Thank you, whoever you are.
Thank you for following. You are a tattooer, so thank you for following. I appreciate you.
Hey.
The winner of the New York story, wow, with a whopping that's crazy. Yep. Is going to be the Punching Man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I figured as much.
It sounds like surface level. It sounds the most intriguing. So
I'm not sure that it is though of the three.
I don't know.
Talon Man's pretty great. Maybe if we have some time, we'll work in a Talon Man.
Talon Man
I
is
voted Talon Man, personally.
Well,
We can do two. Talon Man was in second place.
okay.
Well, hit the punchy one
So,
first.
We are in New York City, greatest city ever to be created.
Right.
And we get onto the subway trying to go to the Nintendo store, but Ashley read the subway thing wrong.
Yes.
So we ended up going all the way to Queens. So we rode this particular train for 45 minutes going in one direction. From the moment we got onto that train until one stop before the end, there was a man on that train.
Roughly, I think every stop is every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was like 40 minutes straight.
So he is sitting there. We are all just kind of hanging out. We all sit down. We're on the subway.
Really quick. For anyone who is listening to this in headphones,
Oh, we're gonna yell.
there are some very loud sections.
I'm
of
gonna
this.
move. I'll move the mic away.
Yeah. So just be forewarned. Okay.
Oh my god.
This is about.
Y'all
to
are like
happen.
hyping this whole
Well,
thing.
you have to have the full effect of
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
We're on the subway. I'm sitting there. I'm doing the classic. I've picked a point on the ground, and damn, that point is interesting. And I'm just staring at it. Chris is just looking around. Ashley is zoned out into like the ether.
Yeah,
She is just looking at something, but there's not a thought behind those eyes.
Yeah.
Lord bless her, love her to death.
Well, that was around the time where she started to feel sick.
Yeah, so it was on site. She just texted me and said, "How dare y'all tell New York stories?"
Did she really?
Yeah, she did. This is the text. How dare y'all some bitches for telling New York stories without me.
Damn, y'all really telling New York stories without me? The betrayal never ends.
Yeah. So here we are. So we're on the subway and we hear. Okay, John, I'm gonna yell. Okay. Keep your conversations private. I swear to God, if I have a friend and he's shorter than me and I punch him, he's Dead. Motherfucker's dead on the fucking ground. And man, that spot on the floor is still as interesting as it was when this man started shouting.
You committed to that so hard. That was actually really good.
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
Well, the thing about it was the guy was standing and he was holding the pole, right?
Uh-huh.
And so when the subway car is like or the train or whatever, it's like really rickety. Like he's like moving, but it kind of looks like a fighting character's like idle animation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you're on the select screen, he's like,
and he's just like,
Always moving.
you know,
so
he's
good.
just kind of like going back and forth.
So he is yelling that. I'm looking down at the floor. Ashley is like confused. Chris is like, who's yelling?
I gotta know.
So he's like, who's yelling? Who's yelling? Then he proceeds to go, white people! If I see a white person on this train and they're shorter than me and I punch them, they fucking dead. White people are the reason we're in this mess. They're taking everything. They're buying everything. Y'all know. And he's pointing around the train, and I'm just like, damn, this spot on the floor is really cool. Chris is looking into the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
He is staring into this man's soul.
So around this time, I noticed that the gentleman beside me, he had to be between the brackets of like late 50s.
I would say late 50s to like
early 60s.
early 60s.
And he is dressed in gold and
Gold rings almost every finger.
Yeah, but like gold pants, right?
Yep, gold pants.
Gold pants with a purple shirt, and they're all like suede.
Oh man, he was
And
swagged
he's
out.
wearing sunglasses, and this is like, he just looked like an Asian pimp. Like he had a cane
You did, yep.
that was also an umbrella.
But it had like a really nice handle.
Yeah,
It was.
he was really, really swagged out, and
He had
like,
sunglasses on in the subway. He was just
Yeah.
like chilling.
and at a certain point, like whenever I was looking up, I just hear this tapping, and I look over, and he's tapping his ring like on like the chair, and he looks at me, and he makes eye contact, and he just puts his hand up and puts it down, and I was like, oh, okay,
I need to stop looking.
I
at this
should
man.
not look at the man yelling about white people.
That dude was trying to save your life.
He
man.
did.
He did, 100%.
Yeah,
because
for
the
sure.
man continued. And they just keep making everything more expensive. And you know who's doing it with the white people? It's China, man. You look at your clothes. Where your clothes made at? China. And he proceeds to like do this. He's like, China. He's like, look at your fucking hat, G. China. You don't see what's happening here? It's the white people. They doing this to us. And if I see one of them and I punch them, they dead. And then it proceeds to go quiet. And we're like, okay, cool. He got it out of his system. We get about 2 more stops, and he resumes with, I'm a grown-ass man. Why is it every time we go out to the club, I'm buying you drinks? Nobody's ever buying my drinks. It's always my money in my hand. Always me.
And then he hits the keep your conversations private. And right about then, a gentleman walked into the train car.
Yep, he has a cart, like he's holding all of his belongings in.
Uh-huh.
And then he just hears,
He hears this man just, white people are ruining the economy. They're taking everything. You don't want to live in this city. And the, I assume he was homeless.
But the
man turns and goes, y'all on your own.
and just walks out.
Walks right out.
Just he
He's
dipped.
like, I'm going to get the next one.
Yeah, he knew it was up.
And
He
I was like-
I'm good.
Damn.
Honestly, though, man, like, just being real, like, the guy who's screaming like that in the subway, that dude probably, like, it's kind of sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
No, there was a lot of things in New York that were just like incredibly depressing.
Yeah.
And the thing
It's
about
kinda
it too is no one in New York gives a fuck.
Everybody is,
Yeah.
I am the main character.
Yeah.
I have my blinders on.
Oh yeah, it's very, very much like out of sight, out of mind. Like,
Because Chris was always trying to look at what was happening, and I was sitting there going, don't look. Don't look, just look down.
If you're not, like, around stuff like that all the time, though.
Bro, I was like,
gotta
you feed
see.
into it, they're going to come at you. I used to work in South Sumter. For the record, for people who don't know what South Sumter is, I used to work in a neighborhood called Red Bay. It was Red Bay because it was a blood neighborhood. I would get robbed once a month, twice a month by the same guy. His name was Dion. Shouts out to Dion.
What's up, Dion?
Love you, man. Dion was really cool. His kid was really cool.
He just had to rob you.
He just had to rob me. That was his thing. He would come, gun, put the shit in the car. I'd be like, cool, here you go. It got to the point where he would just take it out. He wouldn't point it at me. He would just hold it. And I'd be like, Dion, bro, we don't got to take the gun out, man. I'm just going to put the shit in the car. But, like, from working in, like, that neighborhood, I was taught by, like, the people in here, like, if it ain't your business, you look at the ground. Mm-hmm. So when I got to New York, I was in full South Sumter mode. I was like, damn, the sidewalk here is really interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
And I just, Chris, don't look.
Yeah.
That's some
Don't
life
look.
experience that served you that day.
It is. And, like, I fully understand it was very reckless of me to look around. But in my defense, shit was crazy.
Chris tried to
Also,
watch
in your
me
defense,
piss
you're
off the
probably
subway.
taller than him, so.
Yeah, I was fine.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Yeah, he probably looked like, I don't know, like 5.5. So
5.5?
Yeah, dude, he's almost as tall as you.
he was pretty short.
Oh, all right, that's fair. I walked.
Yeah.
So, like, Chris, we were sitting there on the subway at one point, and this man goes and pisses out the car, and Chris is like, what's that man doing? What's he doing? I'm like, he's
Well,
pissing, bro.
To be
Don't
fair,
look.
if you walk in between the cars, there's not even railing. You're like essentially like standing on like the couplings. Do you know what I mean? So it's like this man is just like arm on a handle, just literally pissing in the wind, yelling about white people. Like, I'm naturally very intrigued.
He's like, I'm one of those things.
He's talking about me. So I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to punch him, and he's going to fucking die. And we're just watching, and we're like, he'll get off the train eventually. One stop before last stop, we sat with this man. He was yelling, and we were like the 3 white people on this train. And I'm like, man, I hope I don't have to stand up because I'm definitely shorter than him. And if he punches me, I'm fucking dead.
That's true.
I was like, sure as hell is gonna be me.
Mm-hmm.
But he got off, and then we proceeded to get on another train where we met the Talon Man.
I think the Talon Man is worse.
Why don't you guys sit down for the end?
We'll save it
Okay.
for the end.
Yeah, we'll
I
save
think that's
it
a good
for
way
the
to
end.
finish.
The Talon Man was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. God,
Man, shout out to New York.
I'm never going
Wonderful
back.
place.
Wonderful place, dude.
Never again in my
Concrete
life.
jungle where dreams are made of, dude.
Yeah.
I don't have any desire to go back
You should.
myself.
Should do it.
I want to go back.
I've been twice.
I like New York.
I think you have rose-colored glasses about it.
No, my brother took us through. You know my brother, bro. Like, you know I wasn't in the good parts of New York.
Eric is more of like a state of being,
Yeah.
more or less than a person.
No.
Dude, shouts out to Eric. I know you're probably listening on an encrypted data network.
He's trying to text Mitch
No,
through the
come
ether.
Cut it out.
He sent him Mitch Morse code with a pigeon.
Are these carrier pigeons encrypted?
All right.
Okay.
Come
He's
on.
like, that's-
It's
he's
too-
using
That's
it's
enough.
too easy.
On-
Real
on
life
to the-
Twitter.
On to the yeah. Come on to the next one.
He trains the pigeon.
Cut it out. God.
It's like that scene where Ron's bird.
Chris is.
You know that scene in Harry Potter where Ron's bird's old and he can't fly in the window and he's just
Bro.
fall.
Y'all know too much about my life, man.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about any of this. So
I'll have to talk
That's a
about it.
whole episode.
Yeah, this is a
Oh my
long
God.
story.
This is a whole
Oh,
episode
shit.
by itself.
Shout out,
No,
shout out to
this
Eric.
is
No,
not. This is not an
it'll
episode.
never-
This
it'll
is
never be on this
Yeah,
show.
that's a.
No, it's
me
not
and
a
John
it's not a
talk after.
podcast episode.
That's a
It's-
Waffle House conversation.
It's just an episode.
Yeah, that's a Waffle House thing.
All right.
Oh shit. Well, I put up on the story. If y'all had some questions about guest spots, about conventions, about stuff like that, I got a couple answers back. We're gonna go through those. There's a couple that we will go through. They'll probably branch off. We'll get some other things.
Mhm.
I'm gonna address the big one.
Okay.
Right off the rip. John asked, "Why am I so cute?"
Valid question.
And that's a valid question.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned to the end and you'll find out.
All right, so doing guest spots and conventions, right? So I'm gonna say we're gonna start off with this, okay? I think this is a very, very important distinction. If you've never been to a convention, or you have been to a convention,
I've never been.
or this advice is mostly for conventions, but it can also be applied to a guest spot. What? John, just talk to me, dog. What's up?
Just get closer to the mic. That's
Hey.
all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
Is
eat
that
that
better?
thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. Audio listeners, I'm opening a LaCroix.
There you go.
It's
All right.
refreshing.
So, the main advice, or not advice, I guess, but when you go and work outside of your shop for any reason, right, you have to make a choice about how you want to represent yourself. You have to pick, are you a show horse or are you a workhorse? Neither one of these things or strategies is inherently incorrect or correct. But you do have to kind of decide, right? So if you go to a convention, do you want to be the guy or the person who is trying to bang out like 20 tats a day? Or do you want to do one and have people progressively come through the day and like see your progress, right? Because you're either going to be known as, man, that guy's really like, he's cranking it out. He's over there just like churning them. Or you're going to be the guy where like people are like, man, he's working us for 6 hours. Like, thing's crazy, you know? And you do have to pick, you know, because I know people who don't even work in shops. They just do conventions.
Yep.
And their goal is to just go and crank it and make a shit ton of money and travel and doing the convention circuits. That's the thing you can do. Or you have the people who go who want to like win awards. And it really just depends on like what you want to do. Because for me, whenever I first went to conventions, the first one I went to, I met a tattooer who I ended up becoming really good friends with. And I was an apprentice, and I was super early on. And I saw this guy, his name is Shay, and he was doing a bunch of like Marvel portraits, and I was super into it. So, and I'd never seen anyone do something like that in person. So I like hung around, like walked around, watched his progress on stuff. He was doing a realistic Yoda from episode 3.
It's fucking sick.
He had the lightsaber across. He was actually tattooing.
I remember that tattoo.
Yeah. He was doing it on his friend Boogie. And I remember all of that so specifically because that is whenever like I feel like things really started to click for me. Because in my apprenticeship, I wasn't really learning like a lot or as much as I should. I went to this convention to try like seek out knowledge. Found this dude, and it got to the point where like I like befriended his wife at the time, and I was like, "Hey, can I like watch you tattoo?" And he let me watch, and I literally sat down and watched this dude tattoo for like 6 hours. Like I walked around, saw what everyone else had to offer, and I was like, "None of this matters. I'm watching this."
This is the guy.
Right, and it got to the point where like he was like, "Do you want to get tattooed?" And I was like, "If you have time." And his wife, I learned later on, she like pulled him off to the side and was like, "If you don't tattoo this kid, you're a dick." So
That's pretty cool. That she did
yeah,
that.
so she like vouched for me, whatever, and I got my Dr. Manhattan tattoo on my right arm, and that guy ended up doing a lot of my tattoos. I became good friends with him. He gave me a lot of career advice. He got me out of the first shop I was in. And that was just the first convention I went to. And that was just me putting myself out there, like admitting I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Will you help? And this dude was kind enough to listen to me. And that really changed the tide of like my entire apprenticeship. So you should go to conventions to like humble yourself and seek knowledge and make connections, because you never know when those connections are going to pay off, right? There are tattooers I've met at conventions who like I would have never met, but like now we're friends. And I hope that when we go to Anime Inc., that I meet more people who I can be friends with. And like an extension of that is doing guest spots. The point is to learn more about what you do, because it's really easy to kind of like live in a bubble and just listen to the people who are in your shop and just, you know, shut the whole world out. But I've gotten exponentially better by being around other tattooers. So like, why not invite people to your shop?
Yeah, I know people that like, you know, maybe have like the feeling like there's no point in doing guest spots, like, you know, developing relationships and stuff like that outside of your shop doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change anything. It's just I don't know. Just have like some very like negative like comments or feelings about it. But the truth is, like, since we've been at Nimbus and like different guest artists have come through, just like seeing how, I mean, how much like even you, I mean, you've been tattooing for a long time, you know, for what, 13 years?
Almost 13.
Yeah, almost 13 years. I mean, you're still like learning stuff from as many people as you can. And I mean, for me, like, I was an apprentice when we first started out there, and like, dude, it was so cool getting to see getting to see like Wade tattoo.
Oh yeah.
And like Gio, all like, I don't know, like, and everybody else, you know, for that matter, not just them. They just do black and gray stuff like I do. So I don't know, man. Like, the more you can just meet people and like make friends and like try to learn some stuff from people with different backgrounds makes a huge difference, and it will be for you too, you know, when
Dude,
you
I
start
learned a lot from just like watching Brian
Yeah.
when he was there, because like he is left-handed
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I am also left-handed.
Are you really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
like,
that.
I have to look at what you guys do and then reverse it.
Oh, that's so weird.
So like watching Brian, I was like, oh shit! I was like, this man's in my fucking wheelhouse right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, it's foolish to think that you have all the knowledge or that you
Yeah.
can obtain all the knowledge individually.
Nobody has all the right answers.
Like, that's how people get stagnant. That's how you see those people who, like, maybe they, like, hit a good reputation for a while, or they were, like, top dog for a minute, and then they fell off because they thought, I've got it. Like, I don't need to, like, outsource. But you do. You just do. You know, like, I don't do black and gray. I've learned a lot from watching black and gray artists. I don't do realism. I've learned a lot from watching a realism artist. Like, you can watch anybody tattoo, and you can learn something, whether it be positive or negative. Because sometimes
Yeah.
you watch
Yep.
someone tattoo, and you're like, fuck, that looks like complete trash.
Yeah.
I should never make that decision.
Don't do that.
You know? Or if, like, you have an apprentice, you can look at your apprentice and go, don't fucking do that.
And that's why.
That is the prime example
This
of
is
something
why.
you should never
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
right? Because seeing something that's good is just as important as seeing something bad.
We've talked about it before, where like there's sort of this weird like sliding scale where like you kind of have to have like, I mean, like, there's some people that are just wildly talented, you know what I mean? They're just like
Yeah.
super gifted, that come out of the gate and they're just like an absolute like monster at tattooing or like designing stuff or drawing or whatever. And you have people that like have to work really hard at it, and like there hits like a certain place where like being really talented, like, well, it's good and it can like give you maybe like a little bit of a boost, like it will only get you like so far. Like at a certain point you have to like go back the other way and kind of start to like actually, I think in some cases it can actually maybe like hinder you a little bit, because you'll maybe think like
If you're just naturally,
I'm advanced, or like I'm like I have like some leg up on other people, rather than just learning stuff from the very bottom and like building on it, or like you said, just being humble enough to like look at what somebody else does, like, even if it's not your thing, you know. If somebody's doing like realism, you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, like I see how he did that. Or like black work, you don't do black work, but I'm sure like seeing how somebody packs that much black is probably learn a lot from it, you know.
You can learn from everybody.
Yeah.
I have learned stuff watching apprentices. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, it's really easy to just, like I said, get stagnant and just do the same thing. But sometimes just watching somebody do something, it like something clicks. You're like, I should do that. You know? Because, like, maybe you're going to apply it in a way that person never would. You know? That's why, like, I taught Mitch how to tattoo. We don't tattoo the same at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows the same shit I know. He just applied it differently.
Good
You
job,
know?
Mitch.
Like, you're going to tattoo completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know?
We
And-
established that last night.
Oh, yeah. We talked a lot about that last
We were
night.
doing designs and stuff, and I was like, oh man, this is two different worlds we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you can have the same. It's kind of like what we talked about before. It's like you can give 30 anime tattooers Goku, and they're all going to do it differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could teach 10 people to tattoo and then give them all the same assignment. They're all going to do it differently. It's just the way it is. That's what makes you an artist. But doing conventions and stuff, it's very, very helpful. Doing guest spots, it's kind of like a micro version. It's like a more personal version of doing
Yeah.
one, because at a convention you go and it's overwhelming and it's loud and
There's 1,000 people here.
it's inherently kind of fucking gross.
Yeah, that's what somebody asked. Is it gross?
Yes.
I figured it was gross.
I've seen people just bare hand shit. I've seen people just like not wrap their clients and let them run wild. I've seen blood dripping on the ground. I've seen people pass out.
People drinking while they're tattooing.
Oh yeah, I've literally
Fuck
worked
that.
with a guy who was completely fucking drunk and tattooing, and you couldn't tell him it was a bad idea.
Is that
Had the machine upside down.
Oh,
Tattooing.
Not like the needle the wrong way, but like the
The machine was upside down.
yeah.
is that not illegal to like? Isn't it illegal?
I don't
Depends
thi-
on where you're at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's kind of like going to like a party and people are like, I'll do it because like fuck it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm in a different area code. I can cheat it.
But you also
know?
have a bunch of these people that are
Yeah,
really,
you're under
really
a fucking
good at what they do.
microscope, dude.
Like if you go to like an anime convention like we're going to, there's gonna be a ton of people there that are like really, really, really good at what they do. And like,
Sure.
You will be able to tell at a convention the people who take it seriously, the people who are clean, and the people who are efficient, and the people who are there to ride the convention cycle get fucked up and make money.
Yep.
Like there's a difference.
Let me make sure I
Right.
get in the picture with whoever's the big dog here. And
Yeah. There's a difference between the person who works at a custom shop and a street shop. There's a difference between someone who works at a street shop and someone who tattoos out of their kitchen.
mm.
There's a sliding scale.
dude, is there gonna be a kitchen tattoo?
And there is literally
that'd be sick.
that sliding scale of tattoo quality exists in every facet of tattooing, whether that be a shop, a kitchen, or a convention. You can find the guy that does tats out of his fucking bathroom, and you can find the guy who like does fucking $3,000 portraits that look like a photograph. It's everywhere. You have to find that person.
I want to find the kitchen man.
Well, you guys want to start hitting some questions?
Yeah.
I think
So
that's a really good introduction to
it is
everything.
gross.
It is, but find the people who care. Find the people.
That was a big question.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
You might piss someone off, but if you find someone you're like, oh, their work's pretty good, ask them like, how do you expect me to keep this tattoo clean at a convention?
Yeah. Me personally, if I asked that question, somebody got shitty with me.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I would be like, all right, well, never mind.
We're gonna be the only damn booth at this place spraying people
I'm
with
not gonna-
alcohol.
Oh yeah, no, like no matter where I go, I'm going to be diligent in making sure that it is as high quality as possible, it is as clean as possible, and you are not going to have a fucked up tattoo. I don't care where we're at.
Mm.
I'm going to make sure that that's the case. And the person you're getting tattooed by is just raw dogging shit, and you're okay with that, you're just as much to fault as the tattooer.
Can you make a really, really quick, like, mini thing, like a comment on that?
Yes,
kind of
hit it,
about, so, like, when you're in a situation like that, where you're, like, a huge, like, there's a huge crowd of people, and there's, like, a lot of stuff going on, you get a tattoo, you only have so much control over, like, what happens and what does not happen to you.
Yep.
Your responsibility lies in doing what you can to make sure that it's okay. You don't have any control past that. So if something happens to your tattoo and you get like, you know, like somebody kicks it, or
I got
like,
bumped
like,
or I
yeah,
tripped.
something happens, you get like jabbed on some like furniture or something like that, and your tattoo gets messed up. Like, we've had people before that have like needed touch-ups for stuff like that, and they'll be like, I'm so sorry, you must hate me. And it's like, no, like that, if you do what you're supposed to do, like at a convention, if Chris wraps it in Tegaderm, do what he tells you
Don't
to
get
do
in the
with the
hot, don't get in the
Tegaderm.
hot tub
Don't
20
get-
minutes later.
Yeah, don't get in a
Yeah.
hot tub 20 minutes later. Don't get in a pool. Don't take it off in the parking lot and like run around for the next like 4 days.
Oh, bro, I've been at a convention. I've been in the bathroom. I've watched people literally pissing in the corner because the urinals were full, while a guy stood by the sink taking the Tegaderm off of his neck.
Oh man,
Oh,
dude.
Jesus.
Like, are they
God.
gross? Absolutely.
Dude, I can't wait.
That
I'm
was
just going to keep my gloves
Oh,
on the
man.
entire time.
It's a different fucking
Dude, I
world, bro.
wonder, I should hit up Anime and could be like, I'll carry a bottle of Maticide
Well,
around and a roll of paper towels. Just pay me.
I also want to be clear though, like there's different kinds from like the stuff you've talked about. Like you go to like a really big one, that's different from like smaller niche
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
Like,
This one's probably not going to be as crazy.
So the time I saw that was at the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention.
oh, that thing's
It is the
crazy.
biggest tattoo convention in the country. I will never go again. To be real with you, if you're an artist and you want to have a good experience at a convention, find a mid-sized one. Like,
Yeah.
don't go to like the smallest convention ever in like Mississippi.
mhm.
No, go to like, there's a mid-sized one that goes through like Asheville that I went.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to, but I had like a lot of people who went to it.
Yeah.
and
Well, like the big
they're
one.
like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, like the big ones are like,
Philly's the biggest.
Well, if it's a villain arts convention, it's inherently pretty big.
Yep.
The only one that wasn't super big was the Savannah one, but they no longer do it. And then like Tattoo-Palooza is really big. But like Anime Inc., for example, like it is going to be like a decent size, but it is a like niche thing.
Niche. Yeah.
So that is a good like introductory point. So like whatever style you do, find like an introductory one, because the one I first started at when I tattooed was the Savannah one, and it was very manageable, right?
Yeah.
Like you could find everyone doing the same style as you, and like as long as like you could be good at remembering people's names, you could kind of remember everyone who's like in your bracket.
Yeah.
But you go to like Philly and there's like 600 booths and there's like 2 people minimum per booth. Some have like 5.
Yep.
And it's like
Holy crap.
That's just a lot, dude. I don't know if I could do that.
logistically you're just like, how many people are passing out right now? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, statistically, like your brain is running the numbers. You're like,
yeah.
well,
Which actually, before we move on to something else, that actually made me remember something that Mitch and I wanted to talk about. Fun fact: the shop, we signed the lease in like 2 weeks from now, right? That will be officially 1 year.
Shout out to that lease, dude.
Okay. We've had 0 people pass out of the shop.
Knock on something right now. Find something that is wood.
John, cool.
we've had people get close.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have never put that much thought into people passing out outside of like, oh, like your blood sugar should be high. Or like, yeah.
Well, you shouldn't have
You
high
should not-
blood
you
sugar.
should not have low
You
blood
should
sugar.
have
You should not have
an
low.
appropriate amount
Sorry.
of blood sugar.
I worded that wrong. I
It's
never
like
really,
your blood pressure should be through the roof.
yeah, eat a Twinkie. So like I never really thought about it too much other than just like, like eat well before you come in and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch and I have come to the conclusion that a large portion of people not passing out has a lot to do with the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because we keep everything really calm. We keep it like kind of chilly. Like everything's pretty cozy. Like there's no one like really yelling or shouting. Like everything is really like low key.
Mm-hmm.
And we make it very apparent that like if you need to take a break, take a break. Like if you need to ask a question, ask a question. We have like
Grab a soda from the
like
fridge.
yeah, we have like pixie sticks and sodas and stuff for people, and like they can like watch TV while they're getting tattooed, and like there's not like we lock the doors so there's not like foot traffic and like chaos. Like every day of the week there's exactly the same. Like getting tattooed at our shop at like a Wednesday is no different than like a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And that level of like consistent calmness, I feel like has a large part to play in people not passing out, which I never thought about.
Well, we were talking about it in the shop that I started my apprenticeship at. I have seen, I don't even know how many people pass out. I've seen some people.
Saw 2.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even work there.
Nope.
You were just, you
I
were
was just
there.
like on vacation. I saw 2 people pass out.
And I've seen some like gnarly, like,
Oh yeah,
I mean, like you gotta call 911, like,
Yeah.
like drops on people.
passed out
sometimes.
3 times in
Yeah,
a row
like,
type
hit some
deals.
stairs or some shit like that. Yeah, and like,
Yep.
I've seen that kind of stuff so many times. So it's not that I don't think like me and Chris necessarily are doing something like different, like functionally. like the tattooing itself is not different, but like you said, the environment is different. Like taking breaks, like things are a little more like chill. It's not like super like over the top. Like
your
it's not like
It's not like sensory
overstimulating
Like
or
the phone
something.
doesn't even ring. Like you're not worried about people like talking on the phone. Or,
I had the
like,
phone
jumping
ring
from
like
the phone
3
ring.
times today.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, like also.
I'm sorry. I said call the shop. I said call it on Saturday and Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
So please make sure you do it on
No,
those
I'm
days.
just kidding. It's all good if you call the shop.
But also like we even like don't really have like the overhead lighting on. It's all like ambient lighting. You know what I mean? So it's really relaxing. Yeah. And the amount of people I've literally had people tell me like I am prone to passing out. I have gotten lightheaded or passed out during every one of my tattoos, and they've been completely fine. So again,
we
like I
got
don't,
told it was like a spa the other day.
yeah, like
That's a huge compliment.
It is.
when somebody said that.
and again, like Mitch said, I don't think we're doing anything like particularly like novel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reduced stress level, even on us
Uh-huh.
as like artists and like people working at the shop, even that, you know, because like we're not sitting there being like, yo, hurry the fuck up, like stop taking breaks. I got a tattoo like Tom at 5, you know, like we generally only tattoo one person a day.
We're with you all day.
And if it's more, if I have like more than one client that day, like it's usually like spaced, like I come in at like 10, you know, like the other one's at like 3 or something like that, so it's spaced out like really well.
So I don't know, like it was just an interesting observation. Like Mitch and I were like talking, and we're like, man, we haven't had anyone pass out.
So the diametric opposite of that would be
A convention.
yeah.
If you were gonna get tattooed at one of these conventions, there are gonna be people passing out.
There are gonna be people staring at you.
It ain't gonna be your chill,
Dude,
Nimbus tattoo experience.
I got my throat tattooed at a convention.
It's fucking ridiculous.
And dude, my head hanging off the side.
And people were like, "Whoa!"
People walking over, just be like, "Man, dude, that's crazy, bro. You're insane, dude.
Bro, how you sitting
Bro,
through that,
dude,
bro?
that's like on your neck,
Bro, that's gnarl, bro.
Bro, dude, how's it feeling like your pits, dude? Like,
I feel like you guys are making fun of me right now.
Bro, my cousin did
I'm-
that,
That's how they
I'm-
always mock
I'm
me
not.
whenever they talk like that.
That's not you.
I'm not, but it's funny that you say that.
Yeah.
Chicken sandwich, bro.
I forget what I was talking to my mom about the other day on the phone, but she goes, I forget. We're talking about you.
No,
And-
not Miss Susan.
And at one point she just goes, but Mitch always sounds like a stoner.
No.
Oh,
I don't remember the context,
Oh,
but I just
man.
remember that snippet.
Get wrecked, bro.
Yeah.
By Miss Susan.
Man, she's so sweet. I thought we were friends, Miss
She
Susan.
listens to the podcast.
Shout out to that beautiful woman. I love you so much. If
Yeah.
you're listening to this,
Dude, I wonder if I can get my mom to be on the podcast.
Dude, please, Miss Susan, if you're listening to this, please come.
I bet I could
Be on
bait
the
her into
she
it.
could tell us some embarrassing stories.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
she'll remember stuff that I'll forget.
Oh
She
my
probably knows
God.
shit about Russell I've forgotten. Do you know what I mean? Like she's in deep.
Damn, my mom told me a story about Russell the other day, and I was fucking dying.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's
but
I don't know.
I was gonna say,
I don't know.
Let's maybe.
I don't know what it is, so I'm.
it
I'm
involves
so-
my mom's minivan.
Oh.
Yeah, and I
do
completely
remember
forgot.
that.
And I was like, damn, bro. I was like, Russell,
That's
you're
not
fucking
bad.
stupid.
It's charming.
that's up to you guys.
We were picking Russell up one day from school. So like my mom picked me up at my little middle school. We drove across town to go pick up Chris and Russell and Alex, and we go over there and my mom had a van that had an automatic door. Like you push the button and the door opens, and Russell's like, "Oh man, it's like magic,"
Oh yeah.
and he was freaking out. He's like, "Miss Jeannie, is this door magic?" And she's like, "No, Russell, honey, it's just automatic."
Dude.
He went, "God
Dude,
damn!"
he's still like that.
No, the
he would
best
do
part-
that today.
The best part about that was he was like, "Can I press the
Can I
button?"
press it?
Every time, because like we had to like let people out.
Yeah.
Every time he's like, I'm pressing the button. Like
Oh,
he
I
was.
love that.
Every
He
time
was
somebody
so
rotated
excited.
out of that
I
car,
lo-
Russell
I
would be
love
like,
Russell
I
so
need to let
much.
him in and I need to let him out. And he, the last time Russell saw my mom, which was like 5 or 6 years ago, he went, "Miss Jeannie, do you still got that minivan with
Got
the
the
electric
magic
door?" And she's like, "Russell, we haven't had that in like 10 years." He's like, "Damn, I really miss that thing." And he sat there and talked to my mom about it for like 15 minutes. And she's like, "I just love that boy so much. He's just so sweet."
Yeah.
I love that.
All right, you want to hit some questions?
Shout out to Russell, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back soon, Russell. I miss you too.
Yeah.
I didn't get to
please
spend
do.
enough time with you.
Are we gonna go to the Miami Anime Inc.?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. One at a time.
Let me tell you
It's
why.
so close, dude.
Let me tell you why I'm probably not. I just went to New York, and then we're going to go to
Anime
Inc. in Virginia.
Oh yeah, Virginia. I didn't know what state it was in. I was hoping somebody.
Yeah, it's okay. And then right after that, I have to go to Florida.
That's
And-
gonna be a fun trip.
And then the same week, I have to go to South Carolina. And literally, that Anime Inc. is like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it'd be like Orlando, home, Miami.
Yeah.
And I'm just, that's too much for me.
I also don't know if I have a desire to go to Miami, of all places. Like,
It's not really that poppin'.
It doesn't sound appealing to me.
I don't know.
I feel like it's also just we just did it.
Yeah, I kind of want to like take a break. You know what I mean?
If you're going to it, have fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
No, like I mean,
Yeah, not in that way.
it
just-
has nothing to do with the convention.
No,
You
it's
know what
just
I mean, I have like a threshold for traveling, and the back end of the year is already
we're
super.
gonna hit it, and then we have people coming in like January, February, April.
Yeah, like we have so many guest artists coming, and next year especially, like I just confirmed a couple more people to come,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I just kind of want to chill, you know, I just kind of like want to be at the shop.
Like the weeks leading up to Anime Inc., we have almost like every week, every other week. Like
Yeah,
Vaughn's coming this week, and then we have somebody
Mhm.
the next week. Then we have somebody in 2 weeks, and then we
yeah.
have
If you think about like what
And
we
it's
said
like, bro.
before about like conventions and guest spots kind of being interchangeable, like imagine but on a smaller scale. So like you going to do a guest spot somewhere is like a mini convention in kind of like a
Yeah.
sense, like because it's our shop, it's kind of like hosting continuously. Do you know what I mean?
So we have to.
Because like we
Gotta
hang out
host.
with all these people when they come. So like my social meter gets drained very heavily at a certain point, and when it's like traveling and having people come to the shop, and then traveling, having people come to the shop, and then the holidays, and then being like 3 weeks later, do it again. It's just a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. But like I said, if you're going,
We'll, we'll see. I may go. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of already booked into like January though, so it sort of gets like
If I go,
weird.
then I have to work for 2 weeks straight with no breaks.
Yeah.
Because I'm already booked. I'm about to open my books again to book May through July. So
that's like logistically, it sounds like it's not really.
it
yeah.
sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a little too much. I would much rather have like with Anime Inc., I'm going to use that as an opportunity to make a lot of connections with people and then have those people come to the shop.
I'm excited to see all my homies.
Me too.
I'm gonna give Wade a big old.
We're trying to get Wade to come back.
Good.
Yeah,
Love
I was DMing Wade today. I was like, "Hey Wade."
Yeah, I messaged him earlier.
I was like, "Let me get a little thing."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to tattoo me next time he comes through.
I also been DMing Gio. Shout out Gio. Trying to get that boy to come back.
Dude, I love Gio.
I love him so
He's
much.
such a good
He's
dude.
the sweetest dude.
Also, you've been if Gio listens to this, you are absolutely killing it. He's doing
Yeah.
really
Dude,
good
that
with it.
tattoo we posted today.
Yeah, the trunks.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
so good. I
man.
commented on it and I was like, bro, what the fuck? This is
Yeah.
so good.
I was like, that thing was fucking popping.
First off, Trunks, best Dragon Ball character.
Yeah.
Second
Dude.
off, holy shit.
We saw the Dragon Ball movie.
It was good.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was really good. I will say I hope that they don't make another CGI hybrid. It's
The
not,
parts where they drew over it were cool.
Yes.
There were some parts where that 3D you were like, damn, bro, what are they doing?
Yeah, it was kind of 50-50, but honestly, it was kind of like half slice of life, half action.
That's
So
cool.
the comedy
There
was
it
very
was
good.
such a fun. It wasn't like, guys, joke, am I right? Like there was one part where I was like, damn, they really did that to me.
Yeah, they did some really good like passive Dragon Ball jokes, and I will say this too. It's like a lot of the old Dragon Ball movies, they were very like clearly non-canonical. It would be like if you like looked at like I always point this out in Fusion Reborn, the one with Janemba.
Yep.
In that movie, chronologically, that because like Vegeta is dead in that movie, and then Goku is dead.
Yep.
The only time they're both simultaneously dead is when Vegeta sacrifices himself fighting Fat Boo.
Yep.
And then Goku's time runs out and he goes back, and the boys are trained to do fusion. So the only time canonically that film can theoretically exist
right
is
there.
in that pocket of time. And when they cut to Earth, there's no Majin Buu, and they're just goofing looking for the Dragon Balls.
They're like super.
So
What's that?
so like it makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? It's like they always like existed in like a pocket of
Mhm.
like a pocket reality.
This was not it. This movie, you had to know some stuff.
It was kind of weird. Like it was good though because like it builds off of Broly.
Okay.
So like it is a direct sequel to Broly because Broly's canon. It's like the last 4 Dragon Ball movies have been canon,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And they do a very good job of tiptoeing around if the manga's canon. Because like okay, so for example, like
Yeah.
this is like a incredibly minor thing.
Minor spoilers for Dragon Ball superheroes.
Yeah. So you see Goku and Vegeta train, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've been training on Beerus's planet. Whis specifically says that he wants them to spar, no transformations. So they purposely build in, like, that there's no transformations, right? Because the movie takes place canonically right before the end of Dragon Ball Z. Because Goten and Trunks are teenagers finally, right?
Mm-hmm.
and Pan is older. So
she's 3.
Yeah, she's 3 years
Man,
old.
they tell you.
I see what you're.
So in the manga, like it's been out for a while. So like that Vegeta goes, and he has a
Spoilers for
I
the
guess
manga?
spoilers for the manga if you're not caught up on the manga.
Skip to the below timestamp.
Yeah, whatever. So Vegeta has a form called Ultra Ego, and then Goku has Ultra Instinct and like perfected Ultra Instinct. So theoretically, if they were to fight full power, they would have those. But because they haven't animated the last 4 arcs of the manga, and because like the show's gonna come back, they do a very good job of being like, hey, no transformations,
No moves that could destroy anything.
so they do a good job of like tiptoeing around that, right?
Yeah.
Which was smart. But the coolest thing about the movie is it is very steeped in Dragon Ball lore, and I mean all Dragon Ball.
There
lore.
was shit in there that I was like, damn, they really did that. Spoilers for Dragon Ball Superheroes. They put the fucking sacred water on the dragon.
Like they bring shit back from OG Dragon Ball, like some shit that I would have never thought that they'd ever like just reference in passing. They bring up things from Dragon Ball Z filler.
Oh my god! This is the part
Right.
where I was fucking hysterical.
They bring stuff up like that. They show you things that you've never seen before, and
And
they
you're like, "That makes
they
sense."
also flesh out a lot of like character dynamics that you never really get to see. Things that you would assume, but you actually get to actually see it. So, just for that, like, I really appreciate the movie because a lot of the Dragon Ball movies are like, "What's up, guys? Frieza's back. Get fucked. Super Saiyan Blue," right? And you're like, that's literally the movie. With this, it's very built on character and developing character relationships, which is very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
And like Goku and Vegeta take a back seat, and the whole movie is about Gohan and Piccolo.
It's a good father-son story when you think about it.
Nice.
So if you haven't seen it, you should. If you just have to kind of get past the fact that like it looks a little weird at some points.
There's some, like I said, there's some parts of it where I'm like, damn, this looks cool.
Yeah.
And then there are parts where you're like, damn, this looks like a PS2 video game.
Yeah, and like again, it is Dragon Ball, and like modern Dragon Ball does do a lot of like, hey, remember this? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you guys remember Dende?
yeah, and like clearly, like on the fucking poster for the movie, you see that Piccolo has a new form. Like, it's on the poster. You know what I mean? And God, the trailers have just spoiled the entire movie anyway. But like, it's less about like the big flashy shit and more about the characters.
There's some like emotional. I almost cried.
There are some very emotional parts in it, I will say.
I looked over at Chris. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like teary eyed. I'm like, bro, I swear to God, if they do this right now, I'm about to fucking cry. And then they did it, and I was like, don't look at me.
Yeah. But of course it is modern Dragon Ball, so they do have to sell action figures. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So like Piccolo be orange and shit. You know what I mean? So like it is what it is. But they at least do poke. The thing I appreciate about it is they do at least even poke fun at that.
Yeah,
you know?
there are parts where it's like, damn, he's orange.
Yeah, literally. It's like, man, I've never seen that before. What do you call that? He's like, I don't know. I guess just call it Orange Piccolo.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know.
So it's like,
Orange Piccolo. And he's like, that has a ring to it. That's good.
it's like that. Yeah, makes sense. So like, it is good. It is really good.
Stay for the after credit scene. There is one.
Yes. So you should watch that. But yeah, it was good.
Favorite part of the movie was something not related to the movie. It was we sat after the credits, and the dude that was sitting behind us was coming down the stairs and went, God damn, Orange Piccolo?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't see that coming.
He did.
And then he walked out the theater, and we're just like, wait, what?
He did. It was pretty.
It was so good. He's like, God damn.
But yeah, it was worth it. It was a good piece of Dragon Ball media. So it was very wholesome too.
I almost cried. So, very close. Next question. Do we plan to only have anime artists guest spot at the shop?
There's already been artists that are not anime artists that have come to do guest spots.
100%.
That is true. No, like really, if anyone's cool, like it's pretty open. I will say, the artists that have not been anime artists have had a more difficult time booking.
Yes, that is 100% a fact. When I do posts for non-anime related things, it ain't good.
Yeah, because like we're essentially pop culture tattooers at a pop culture shop, so the reach we have is to people who like that, and like if you're coming through So let's say you do color reels on portraits, right? And you're fucking sick, right? If we promote you, we'll promote it, but our audience is a little more geared in a different direction.
Yeah.
But if you are an artist who has a really good following and you're confident that you can just book things, then yeah, like that's totally
Please
fine.
do.
But
because the shop doesn't have, we said this like a lot, but it doesn't have walk-ins. So like, it's not like if you just show up and you're like, oh, cool, I'm just like tattoo when I get there and like pick up some walk-ins or something. Like
Nope.
that's not the
You
shop.
you need to book your stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing that you kind of have to like stress when you book, if you're interested in booking a guest spot, is like you gotta hustle it.
Yeah.
Because the shop can only do so much and we can only do so much.
Well, that's how, like, again, me and Chris, we have to do everything independently, so it's kind of the same thing. We don't really have like a counter person. You bring your apprenticeship
help-
or kind of.
Yeah, and then I help the guest artists as much as I can with like information and paperwork and
Yeah.
all of that, but like I'm still not, hey guys, so and so's got 2 spots left.
with that being said, the trade-off is we do make it incredibly cheap on you to come to a guest
We
spot.
do. We provide a lot of shit for you.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say directly like what it is, but the fee for coming is guaranteed the cheapest thing you've ever had to pay for a guest spot. You know,
We
and
provide the
it's-
Thermofax.
That's true. But it's because to me, it's less about making money off of people and more about building meaningful connections.
Yep.
And like just giving people a place where they can tattoo in the most comfortable way possible.
Yeah,
So,
it's clean. You don't have to worry about all this other crap happening. People walking in. And
yeah, you just come, book people, have like a really good, relaxed time, and it'll be
we're all out by 7. Have a great night. Yeah.
yeah, just really fulfilling.
So, yeah. But if you want a guest spot, hit up your boy at ChrisHouse_tattoo.
What were you gonna say,
DM the
Mitch?
shop.
Oh, nothing. I was gonna say if you want to hit the next one.
Yep, we only have one more. So, how do I find out if I have an appointment?
All right, let me see that person's name one more time just to make sure it's the person I'm thinking of. Because if it is,
Mitch is looking at the phone, audio
Yeah.
listeners.
okay. So I'm not gonna call it the name or anything like that, but the person who's asking the question, how do I find out if I have a spot for the Anime Inc. or if I got the spot, right? The person who sent the message, if you're listening to this, you sent me a message and asked, and I gave you the information about the spot, how much it costs, and all that stuff, and you did not respond. So, or I think we left it on like let me know and sounds good, right? Which is totally fine if you're thinking it over. But if all we got is I gave you the information for how much it costs and you said that you want to book later, I'm assuming that you don't want the spot. So you don't have the spot. If you want the spot, send me a DM and we'll look at booking. I posted like a month or 2 ago that I was going to start booking shortly for Anime Inc. But it turns out there was a bunch of stuff that still had to get done to like confirm the spot and everything like that, things that had to get turned in. So I actually didn't even end up booking as early as I planned to. So I still have spots available. If that's something that you're wanting to do,
Pick me.
Hit
pick
me up,
DM
Michael.
I'll DM
Yeah.
you, dude.
But yeah, as far as for me, because the person that asked, I believe is my client, not Chris's. Yeah, just like let me know what you want to do. Like just respond to the DM, I guess, and we'll take it from there. But
Spronkles. Huh?
but yeah, I haven't actually really even started booking yet. I think I'm going to though, like really just whenever.
Mhm.
So
I am fully booked.
Yeah.
But in general, right? So if we ever post that we have availability, whether that be for a convention or just like a normal date, or let's say you emailed us and we're talking about, hey, how does the 30th of like June sound or something? You do not have an appointment unless we have agreed on a date, a time, a design, and once all those things are done, we have sent you the ability to give us money.
mm-hmm.
Because we do not give out our Venmos until all of those things are concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, let's say I'm just like, maybe the 30th of June sounds good. And you're like, yeah, That sounds pretty good. And let's say at that point in time, I already gave you my Venmo, right? And we never agreed on like what we're tattooing. And then a week from then, you decide you're gonna send me a deposit and not tell me. I just get deposits for things. Do you know what I mean? So there have been occasions where I told someone a date, a time, gave them my Venmo, everything, and I said, here it is. They waited 2 weeks, and then this is in like the peak of me booking my stuff. They just sent me a deposit, and in the deposit, it didn't say any information.
Make sure you include like a date or something.
Well,
don't say tattoo.
Well, that's what they did. They just said tattoo.
Oh, see.
And months went by, and then they hit me up and said, "Oh, I'm so excited for my appointment," and I did not know that they sent it. So I had to reschedule that person, right? So the way that I do my booking, when you send me money on Venmo, I make you include the following information:
There we go.
your name, your phone number, the tattoo you want, the placement of it, the date and time of your appointment. I make you do all of those things. My Venmo is private. No one is going to see your phone number. But you do not have an appointment until we've gone through all that. You have sent me the deposit, and I have emailed you back confirming that I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe you misspelled something, and it went to a different person.
It could happen.
That does happen. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you will know for a fact that you have an appointment because we will tell you this is confirmed. We have gotten it. Everything is good. Like, we don't leave things ambiguous.
Yeah, and like Chris is talking about deposits and stuff. It's important to keep in mind that like we get behind on stuff sometimes too. You know, like you have like a bunch of DMs or something, you can take a little bit to reply. But like people that I know that I just sent my Venmo to or something, I'm like, all right, well I have to get back to them like very quickly because what can happen, right? And like for somebody asking like, do I have an appointment? For me, until you send me money for a deposit, and I always tell people like I drop the Venmo or the Cash App or whatever I have, and I'm like, here's the information for that. Let me know when you send it so that I can confirm it on my calendar. Like, thank you so much. Like, that's usually what I say, right? And the reason I say that, because like Chris said, people will sometimes they'll wait like 2 weeks and just send you the deposit, right? Or I'll have people that'll be like, hey man, can I pay you next Friday for the deposit for the appointment? We don't do that because like I've done that with people that I like kind of like knew have tattooed them before, and it's like, yeah bro, it's fine, just like shoot it to me, right? And you will never get the deposit. And then I'll roll up and I'll look at my calendar and I'm like, I never got that. It still says pending. And I'll like reach out and be like, hey bro, are you gonna be there for your appointment? And it's like something came up, I can't do it. It's like that's why you get the deposit. So
and all of a sudden Mitch ain't paying his bills.
And
that
all
day.
of a sudden I don't have anything booked for that day. So what that means is until you pay a deposit, which, and like Chris said, we want to know what are we doing? Like how big is it going to be? Where's it going? Like all the information that we need, right, from you. Like what's the date and time? The reason that stuff is important before you send the deposit is because like Chris is I think a little more like strict on like what he will or won't do for sure. But like for me, like I have like a little more variation in that. But it's a problem for me if you tell me like, all right, well I want this like small manga panel from like Yu Hakusho. I'm like, oh, okay, sick, cool. Like it's X amount of time. That'll probably take me a couple of hours, right? And I book it, and I have it on my calendar, and then you hit me up 3 weeks later, and you're like, hey man, actually, what if we just did this like giant Kuwabara? I would love to do
That'd be
that,
sick.
but what if I have something else booked after you now?
Yep.
So it's important for you to tell me beforehand as far in advance. Or the inverse is true too. Like what if I book my entire day for somebody that's doing a huge Kuwabara, and then 3 days before the appointment, you're like, hey man, let me get this tiny manga panel. I'm like, okay, well I have one appointment. That's going to take me like 3 hours. And that's it.
The thing too is like, I know people forget this, but we are people who have lives outside of this.
Mm-hmm.
We have responsibilities. We have bills. Like, we have obligations. If I know in advance I'm going to work and I'm only going to be at work for 4 hours, that's fine. But if I go to work thinking something is going to take me 4 hours and it takes me an hour, okay, well, I've made plans around my day. I have bills I need to pay. I also like, have to like manage money and stuff. Like, how would you feel if you thought you're going to work to make $500 and you made 50? That might fuck with some things, right?
That might ruin some plans.
So the same is true for us. So
Mhm.
we like to have a very mutually respectful relationship with our clients. Like, you treat us well, we treat you well. Just be nice,
And
man.
I also want to clarify too, I'm not. This isn't like me being angry with anybody or anything like that.
Whoa,
Because
calm
stuff.
down, dude.
No.
You're
Like
at a 10,
stuff
I need
comes
to be
up,
like a 4.
and it takes so much for me to actually be like upset with somebody, right? Like if something happens and you're like, yeah, I can't make it, or like I do want to change the design or something. 9 out of 10 times, it is 100% fine.
Mhm.
But the reason that in general, if you hit me up and you're like, can I just send you a deposit? You just grab an appointment slot. That is a very complicated question for me because I don't know if I'm booking a giant thing that day or if I'm booking some tiny script on you. I have no way of knowing that. You have no way of knowing that. So usually if you ask me that, I will almost always tell you, figure out what you want to do first, hit me up after, and we'll get it booked. But
Yeah. With me, things are a little different because I have people who want to make like reoccurring appointments, and I have a flat day rate, right? And I'm very upfront about it.
Yep.
So, and people know what I will and won't do. I'm very specific.
people do try to bamboozle you sometimes.
They do.
though.
People do
100%.
try to bamboozle me, and I even rewrote because I'm about to open my books again, and I have an email prompt. I even rewrote it to be more specific
Nice.
Just so you don't get
because people be fucking trying me.
dude.
Right? Here's the thing. If I know it is anime and it is in color and it is on your arms or legs and it is not a full body, we're pretty much straight.
I mean, you can see his work. If you go to his page, you know what Chris does.
Right.
Like,
Dude,
how
Chris
he
is the
does it.
cover-up guy.
So
Right.
do not spring a fucking cover up on me. Do not tell me you want, fucking Yusuke's entire body. Don't do it. I'm going to tell you no. Here's the thing. As long as you follow the parameters that I've laid out for you to get this tattoo, you can even change the character you want or the placement on your body up to 2 weeks before the appointment.
You're telling me as long as it's an arm and a leg and I let you know what happens,
Yes.
I can change it?
So, like, if you're booked with me for Kurama, and then
Dude, that'd be
2
sick.
weeks before your appointment, you're like, man, Chainsaw Man fucking slaps. I'm going to get that. 2 weeks before, we're good. Because sometimes I will have a day where I'm actually free and I'll draw a bunch of appointments, or I'll have a couple of days and I'll get like 2 weeks ahead. And man, if I find out that I sat there on my off day and drew for 4 hours for you to fuck me, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because there have been times where people have done that to me and I've literally said, I've already drawn this, I'm not changing it. Because I do have a life, and that's not me trying to be rude. But if you tell a mechanic, or like someone, right? Or I guess I won't be a mechanic. But if you tell somebody, I want my car to be Fanta purple,
Oh, yeah.
and then they tell you it's going to take a week, and then the day before you pick up your car, you're like, what if I get it Sprite green? And then they're like, well, I already made it purple. And they're like, well, I'm paying for it, so I want it Fanta. Fuck you.
What color is it?
That's
Now I'm
not what
confused.
you agreed on. Right? People have a schedule and people have lives outside their jobs. Just be respectful, man. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, for sure. Not that anybody's done that. That's just answering the question in general, like
No,
deposits and
people
stuff.
have done that.
I'm saying like the question that the guy was asked.
Hey,
or
man.
was
Oh, that
asking.
specifically.
Yeah,
that's
that's
different.
not what happened, and that's not the case. I'm
No.
just talking about deposits in general for this kind of stuff. Like,
No, I'm talking about people who fucked me.
sure, I've had people do that to me
There's
too,
not a
plenty of
there's-
times
yeah,
for
don't,
sure.
Don't fuck Chris.
Like, oh god, so many times I've had that stuff happen. But again, it's okay if you let us know because things do change. But like,
Within a timely manner, please.
but yeah, if you have not paid a deposit or anything like that, like if we haven't had a conversation in my DMs where I'm like, awesome, this is the date at the convention, this is the time I will be expecting you, you're gonna have to get your tickets, you're gonna have to get everything, you're gonna have to get a hotel, make sure you have all your stuff in order, and let me know when you have all that there. If you have any issues, make me aware, here's the deposit, like, and we have that paid, and I'm like awesome. It's on my calendar. I can't wait, and I'll see you then. There is not an appointment on my calendar for that. So, yeah, just putting that out there.
Just make sure you follow the rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll get a confirmation.
Was that the last question?
Don't DM the shop asking for availability. I don't know it.
That's true.
Yeah. Again, me and Chris do things
I
independently.
get that a lot. And man, I feel like a jerk when I go, I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows, dude? You should contact them.
That's true.
That's the thing.
I did that once. I told
sure
someone
did.
I didn't know. Michael, no, you weren't there because I thought they were you. The door was unlocked. I might have been putting gear away. I forget what exactly was going on, but the door like popped open. I think I told you about this. You were tattooed.
I don't think I was there that day when I heard this story.
Yeah, it was super weird. We were filming. Maybe Chris.
Maybe.
I forget. I don't know. The door like popped open, and I saw someone like come in and then scoot immediately because I'm pretty sure they saw the camera and they were like, "Oh man, they're filming." I thought it was Michael because they had a beanie on and stuff. It was a girl.
It's my brand.
And
Whoa,
then
dude.
Yeah, I'm
You're
saying. Yeah,
Am I pretty?
gorgeous. And then
I told you we'd come back to the cute thing.
it was this girl and this random guy. And I opened up the door and they were like, "Hey, just want to know if we could get tatted today." And I was like, "You can't."
Dude, everybody, if John doesn't even work there, he's like, no.
Dude,
Yeah.
when people call the shop and they're like, "Hey, do you have availability?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Can I make an appointment?" I'm like, "No."
I'm always like, you can send an email and we'll get back
I always
to you
tell
at the
people, I'm like,
earliest
No, I'm
I'm
always
like,
nice about it, but it's like, no.
I always say to reach out through the email or through the like. I was like, you can go to the website and like click on whoever you want to book with and shoot it to them, and we'll get back to you.
convenient. Once again, we don't do piercings.
Yeah,
I
once
don't- we
again.
don't do piercings.
I went to Allstate today to renew insurance for the shop, and this lady was talking about because on the paper it said tattoos,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, "Me and my husband want to get tattoos." I was like,
Oh,
So, like,
shit.
the
I
ladies-
can't tell them I'm not a tattooer.
So one lady's like
Chris gives
stuck.
them my information.
Yeah, so like
My name's Mitch.
the one woman is like stuck doing my fucking paperwork, and the other lady's like, "Ooh, I got you trapped. I'm gonna talk about some tats."
Yeah.
People like to trap us and talk about tats,
Hell yeah,
and
they
so she was trapping me, and I had to just be like, "Hey, so here's the deal." And the other woman actually follows me on Instagram because there's 3 of them, and she goes, "He doesn't do that. He just does anime." And the woman's like, "What?"
What kind of shit is that?
And then,
Cartoons?
So I like pulled up my Instagram and I was like, this is the stuff that I do. And she's like, "What is this?"
It's cartoons.
And she literally said, "Do you only do like cartoons?" And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
"Kinda."
From Japan.
Which is funny to me because the people
Hold
that
on.
sit. Go
And
ahead.
then she pulled up her leg and it was like this shittily done Grinch tattoo. She's like, and it was just the face. And she's like, "It's okay, but the eyebrows are kind of fucked up."
Wait, she had a Grinch
Yeah.
tat?
And then she's like, "But I want to add his full body to it."
Hell yeah.
Could you do that?
Run it.
And most of the time in my life, I would.
She want it full color?
Yeah, but I would like.
Oh,
most
shit.
of the time in my entire life, I've been in situations where like, I've like had to say yes because like, what if this got back to my boss and like I told somebody no and it would be like a thing. I just looked around and went, "No, I'm not doing that."
You should have been like, but I will do Ace Ventura right next to him.
Dude,
Character
okay,
portrait.
Follow me here. You get this woman an appointment. You tat the fucking sickest anime Grinch on her. He has light trails and catty con on. He's like stealing Christmas.
Listen,
That'd be so hard, dude.
if it was on fresh, like if someone just came to me and asked me for that, I would say yes. But it was already just like a head this big. Do you know what I mean? It was like,
Yo,
where was it?
book your fucking
on her
Grinch
calf.
appointment with Chris.
Okay.
it
Wait,
was
he's on a
just-
calf?
yeah, it was just like, it was all fucked up. I mean, she was just like, "Can you like add to this?" And I was like, "No."
I can cover it up with,
I was-
with
I
a
was like-
Tanjiro.
I just told her I get to do Tundra this week.
Have you ever seen Demon Slayer, man?
Yeah, but I,
Ma'am, do you like Nezuko?
but I literally had to be like, I do things that are very particular. And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's like specific."
Like cartoons.
To be fair, like for someone that doesn't,
It's
watch-
hard.
Yeah,
I get
it's
it. I
hard
get
to
it.
explain.
Trying to
someone
explain
that's
like
into it.
anime tattooing to my like my 65-year-old mother from South
It
Carolina.
sounds fake.
She's like, so he just puts like Goku on people?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And she's like,
Oh,
who the
God.
hell wants a
Yeah.
Goku?
That's
I was-
literally how I've
He's
explained
going
it.
like Super Saiyan and stuff. Are
Yeah.
they doing that? And I'm
I've
like,
literally,
yes, Mom.
I've literally explained to people like who are older because like I feel like if people have teenage boys, then they're familiar with
Like
Dragon
my
Ball.
mom knew what this shit was. And
Yeah,
she's like, I
yeah.
just don't get it.
My mom
that or
knows this,
Pokemon,
yeah.
right? So like I'll just like whenever older people will be like, like they ask me now, they're like, can I get tattooed? I'm like, no, I do. It's really like particular. And they're like, well, like what do you do? And I'm like, it's kind of like.
it sounds like bullshit, dude.
It's
You're like,
I only do.
I
Pokemon.
exclusively tattoo Pikachu.
Oh, the little red one. And you're
Yeah,
like,
I'm
yes,
like,
ma'am.
my
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
career just boils down to just doing Pikachu portraits on people.
It's like if someone says like if they want Goku, I'm like, which form?
I,
You know what
dude,
I mean?
I
It's
was,
like, and that's my entire life.
I was talking to my mom about it recently, and I was like, yeah, like this is the stuff that we do, and like, you know, this, like I was like some anime character, and she's like, cause she asked, she's like, what have you been doing? I was like, oh, check it out. It's like this is Gon from from Hunter x
He's
Hunter.
a small child that
she's
beats
like-
things up.
He's
She's like,
covered in blood.
Huh? Like, okay, like why would someone get that? And I was like, he's cool, Mom.
Mitch is trying to explain this like
He's
black
got-
and gray
he's-
demon thing they put on this
Yeah,
person's
dude.
leg.
This is a lesson.
So, Mom,
Yeah,
this
this
is a
is-
lesson. And
it haunts the woods, Mom.
Well, like I was
And
trying to
she's like, "Oh, that's
explain.
cute,
I was
that's
talking to my
cute."
mom and dad, and I can just see the I'm saying the words, and like my mom and dad are actually super cool. They're pretty chill.
Shouts
people.
out to Mitch's parents. I love y'all.
Yeah, they're very sweet, but like they were just talking about tattoos and stuff, and like they're not really a huge fan of them to begin with. But I was trying to explain. I'm like, well, you guys know Goku. Like,
Yeah.
imagine getting like a really like big ass Goku, like on your arm,
Freaked out.
just tricked out to infinity, just like a crazy.
Mitch's dad's
Goku.
like, okay.
And they're like,
all right.
they're like, all right, like, cool. I'm like, you charge how much for that? And I was like,
Dude.
I mean, like, they're like,
Mitch, your parents are religious, correct?
yeah, they are.
Have you seen manga Messiah?
Oh, come on, man.
It's pretty sick.
Dude,
No,
it's
no,
so sick.
It is funny because Judas has an emo-ver.
What if somebody came to you, Mitchell,
He's like emo.
and it was like, can I get
Come on,
this
John.
tat from
Aren't
manga
you at
Messiah?
least like happy that you have someone to look at? You know
Oh,
what
I
mean?
am, dude.
John, have
I
you
knew
seen,
that you'd understand.
Have you seen manga Messiah? It's
No.
the entire Bible,
In manga.
but it's a manga.
It's pretty sick.
It's so cool.
What?
I just
This
need
is
to
a
see
topic
it.
that's too big for this podcast.
For the
dog.
record, just so, how is that any different than like a coloring book for a kid?
It is.
No, yeah, I
It tells the story.
It's
It's,
pretty-
accurate.
It's pretty sick.
I just need to see it. That's all.
It is
Okay,
pretty
I'll,
sick.
I'll buy
It's-
you it
Sure.
for Christmas.
It's done with love.
It's actually really sick. Like I bought it for somebody as a Christmas present, and I read it, and I was like,
You
dude,
know,
this fucks.
stuff like that makes me laugh because like I know the kind of person that would buy that. Like it's like an Aunt Kathy is like
Dude,
I
you know my
that-
Aunt Kathy.
Oh, my bad.
He
But
likes
it's
Draw
you have an Aunt
Roots
Kathy
and the
too.
Bible.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Like it's like you have. It's like, you know, Nicholas is into some of those Japanese cartoons a little too much, but you know what he needs?
He needs a little Jesus.
He needs a little Jesus Christ. And
Okay,
So-
so is that what it feels like for real though? Is it like that? Like it's like
yeah,
it's like
it's like an
okay.
adaptation.
It's like
Yeah.
something Lifeway
It's-
would sell.
Yes.
It's actually like
It's pretty well done.
the thing is, it's actually really
It's
well
not.
done. The scripture's in there.
Mitch, the message is what matters.
They're trying to reach you where you're at, man.
So
They're appropriate.
hello, fellow kids. Look, it's
you guys like the anime? He puts
Yeah.
his Lego. What's up, Deuteronomies?
It's like
This-
Jesus
I'm here
and
to tell you
Tanjiro
guys
are
about-
pretty synonymous.
We are peaking so hard.
Oh.
I'm sorry, man. We're like yelling over here.
Talking
Like,
about
have you ever
goated with
seen
the sauce.
Evangelion before?
But for the record, we're talking about Mitch's parents
Ugh.
with tattooing. My mom gets upset with me when I don't send her the tattoos that I do. Like, she expects me to send her like everything I do, and like I recently did that Rize that like had the big titties, and I sent it to her.
Shout out to that Rize with the big titty.
I sent it to her, and she didn't reply for a while, and I was like, oh shit, she must be like, what the fuck?
She's like, "What did you
And
do?"
so like I called her, and she's like, hey, I'm like digging in the yard, like doing like yard work or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, yeah, my phone went off. And I was like, oh yeah, I sent you a photo of a tattoo I did. She goes, okay. So like we're like on the phone or whatever. I hear her like take her gloves off and take a break, and she went, oh, bit more boob than you would normally do.
You know, I can
God.
hear that in your mom's voice. Like
yeah,
in,
I can
in
hear
my
her say
head,
a
I
bit
know
more
exactly I should
boob
say
than
that.
normal.
And then I was like, yeah. And they got quiet. She went, it looks nice. But no, my mom is like super into it. Like she used to not be, but I've tattooed her twice now, and she gets black and gray because she doesn't understand. But she's always like, one day I'll let you do color on me. I'm like, yeah, finally. But yeah, she's really supportive, and she kind of gets it now, you know, because growing up she like always encouraged me to draw anyway. So she's super proud, and now when people talk shit about tattoos, she's like, hey,
My boy does
my
this.
son tattoos, and he's damn good at it.
I'm glad that you both have
Yeah.
supportive parents.
My mom
For
will be
sure.
like, look at his Instagram. He did this.
Follow him.
My mom actually
He
got
needs the clout.
no. My mom showed some of my work once on the Lowe's, and then left and like came back like a week later, and the person came back because they worked there, and they're like, what was your son's Instagram? Because I need to show my partner so they can go get tattooed. And my mom explained everything, like the pricing and like where I'm at, and, like,
Damn.
how long the wait
She's
was.
like, now it's a day rate, okay?
Yeah, no, she like explained everything, like how far away it was, and they're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. They want to get tattooed by him.
That's.
And I was like, that's fucking
Fuck
fire.
my mom was just like, I'm so glad that you found something that you like to do. I don't like it.
My mom has,
I'm glad
has
that you
zero idea.
found
Yeah,
it.
it's a
Like,
big
that's,
secret.
that's all I want, man. I don't need you to like
No.
like it, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't
Just
matter.
like support it. you
But
know?
like, yeah, they're cool. They're really supportive of it. I think they're really happy.
I always feel like there's a shred of Mitch's parents that are like,
Damn, Chris.
I should have never let him hang out with those boys.
sometimes I think about it and I'm
man.
like, man, I really fucked the entire trajectory
Bro,
of Mitch's life straight
I
up.
remember I was like 17. Chris is like a year and a half older than me, so he's a little older than me. And I actually had to be a little older than that. You had just gotten your neck tattooed.
I remember this.
Chris was still a baby, man. How old were you when you got your neck done?
I was 20.
Yeah, you're 20. Okay, yeah, so I was like 18 then. So he shows up at my grandma's house.
To go swimming.
Yep,
He's
you go
got his
swimming.
hair's like spiky, neck tatted, arms tatted. He like rolls up. Now, mind you, we were children not years before, like just a couple years before.
Oh, yeah.
So my grandma's in this transitionary period where she doesn't quite like
These are my growing
Like-
boys.
if she'd seen Chris before.
I was probably like 16.
Oh yeah, not the same. Like he came up and she said to me after, she's like, that boy with the neck tattoos, like there's something wrong there. I'm like, you know, Grandma, you liked him like last year. He was cool.
Like, Grandma, you thought he was an upstanding gentleman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's funny, but
The neck tats will do it, man.
I will, man. I always tell people it's
That
neck
was the
and
turning
hands,
point
dude.
for me and Chris's grandma was the neck tattoo.
I think everything else is
Yeah.
pretty much fair game nowadays, but like it's your neck, your face, and your hands.
Yep.
Those are the three areas I think is still kind of trippy.
It'll
up
change you.
sometimes.
I really want my hands tatted.
You know, with your
Fire.
face, man.
What's it? No.
Get a little Bible
Right-
verse
right-
above your
right at the
eyebrow.
top.
God,
Look like
no.
Post Malone, dude.
No
them
desire for
thorns.
that.
That's a look.
That's like
Hit the
have you
thorns,
Dude,
have you
hit the-
seen-
hit the thorns?
No.
That.
Yeah, I'm looking at John right now. I'm like,
That's fire,
yeah.
dude.
That
That's a
crosses
bad
couple
call,
The
though.
moment
Is
you
it?
start
lines
losing your
up.
Oh,
hair, you
yeah.
just wrap it.
That's a bad call. I think
Yeah.
it's a bad call.
Yeah.
You're pretty fire though.
Anyway.
fucking
Well,
sick.
anyway,
John, you'd be so hard, dude.
John's already
This
hard,
is
man.
all right. So when Chris does this, just for reference,
Uh-huh.
they've been the past 2 weeks on me about getting this whale right here, right?
It'd be sick,
Right.
dude.
So cool.
I did a bunch of
Right.
tattoos. on this
Okay,
arm
all
today.
right. But Chris has that same energy that he just had about the thorns, about the whale.
It would be sick.
So I'm
We should
right.
do the whale.
So-
man.
The whale is actually a really good idea.
Okay, so this is why, this is why I'm like, all right, is Chris memeing on me right now, trying to get me to
No,
get this whale?
I wouldn't
Let me
let
tell
you
you
this- let me
do
tell you
it
this,
if
John.
it was
So
a meme,
there's a
dude.
difference,
I would tell
okay?
you if it was a bad
One,
idea.
I would never jokingly make someone get a face tattoo. Because for the record, I won't even tattoo someone's face.
Right?
Do you know that?
Yeah,
I refuse to tattoo anybody's face.
yeah.
So
I
Hey,
think that's-
pause. Wade says that he misses all of us.
that's sick. I love
We
that.
love Wade.
Hey, Wade, if you're listening to this, which you probably aren't,
I love you.
we love you and we miss you too.
So like
Continue.
the whale is just sick, right? I will joke about things for sure, but like I would never make or like encourage someone to get a tattoo as a joke. Would you be the
Hold on.
hard?
Oh, no, I was about to, I was just about to
Hold
say
on.
that's a lie,
Hold on.
bro.
Would you hold on? Would you
Michael,
hold on,
consider
I
this
know, hold on.
collab from the two of us on it right
Hold on.
now.
Would you be the
What are you
hardest
talking
person in the
about?
church if you had the thorns? Hell yeah, for sure.
You'd be
Should
unemployed,
you-
my friend.
Do I think you should do it? No.
No,
For
don't
sure
do
not.
it.
The whale, yes. Now, I know what you're going to say. I know you're about to hit me with the God Country Horse argument.
Yes.
You brought it up.
Why did we do it?
Chris.
You brought it up.
Come on.
I went,
dude.
man, wouldn't it be funny if I got this? And Chris was like, yeah, do it. Do it now.
That's sick.
You won't.
You won't. So, funny thing about God Country Horse, shout out to the Nimbronis who come in and ask about it. And then I have to,
happen.
and then I have to pull my sock down and they go, oh, that was
Dude,
you?
That tattoo healed so good too. I love that tattoo.
It is fantastic.
It's so stupid.
Real talk, we can do the whale. I'm down.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a good
I would
idea.
tell you, like, I mean, we'll joke about stuff. Like,
Oh.
I would actually tell you
I
if
know.
you've had a bad idea.
I know. I'm
I'd be like,
I'm
"John."
just leaning into the
No.
to the antics. You know, we were getting silly.
Be like, what if we got like
Get
the
silly.
Last Supper?
What if you,
That'd go kind of hard.
What
what
if
if you
gap
got,
filler?
if you got Jesus' cup from the Last Crusade? Where it overflowed.
From Indiana Jones.
Dude,
Yeah.
that'd be sick.
The
The ark.
the
the
cup,
fucking-
yeah.
And then you have
The Holy Grail.
And then you have the wine spilling out of it.
That'd go hard as
That'd be pretty fire.
fuck.
That actually. Hey, on your movie thing,
Write that
dude,
down.
Right there.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, you're like film sleeve.
Oh yeah,
The Holy Grail, bro. That'd be a good
The
one.
chalice.
yeah. We could.
Well, it's
I
not
mean,
a check. No,
we
it's the
could-
plainest looking
I
cup.
have the crystal skull
Oh, you do. Never
Do
mind.
you?
You already have an indie.
Oh.
indie tattoo.
You can double up.
with the hat and the snake and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's subtle.
Double up.
It's subtle.
Out of all the movies, you went with that one.
Anyway, I feel like we went
Dude,
down
Shia
a
LaBeouf.
number of
Yeah.
like really long tangents today.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
it was right next to an alien,
Yeah, got the xenomorph and then Jaws under it.
Hell yeah.
So
which
they-
also ironically has a long head in the movie too.
yeah. So also, yeah, it does. That's true. We were talking about this one, which no one can really see. That's fine. But we're gonna do the reverse on this arm, but it's gonna be Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Isn't that sick with the beard and the hat?
Are you gonna do a banner?
I
Just
just
a
felt
ju-
like running.
I don't think so.
I just felt like running.
That would be
We can make it work, dude.
Holy shit.
Little over under. That'd be cool.
that would be so sick.
Yeah,
Does he have a bubblegum hat on? Is that what it is?
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
I love that you both just said that. Oh,
Let me see the
God.
tattoo.
I'm so
Did you
pumped.
ever-
Oh,
Yeah, see the one that I did in his
shit.
forearm, he's gonna do the
Yo,
same thing in
so
the other
imagine
side.
if you did that right, but underneath the banner you have a shrimp.
Oh, dude,
Oh
let me
my
let me do the
God.
shrimp on the bottom.
Yeah, it's
That'd
got
be
it.
so
Yeah,
fire.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea.
I love it.
Force, just
I
the
love
same
it.
stuff they put
Thanks for being willing to roll with the.
Lieutenant
I-
Dan, you got
I'm
special
I'm gonna
legs.
hold fire on that one for a bit because that was not fun.
Really?
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, the
dude,
wrist sucks.
You did pretty good, man.
That's good. I'm glad I did.
I had no idea.
It hurt at the end, bro.
It hurted, dude.
That actually reminds me. I want to get people's opinion on this. A topic I wanted to discuss eventually, and people can let us know if like they're interested in it.
Nimbronis, let us know.
I kind of wanted to talk about like areas to get tattooed and like the pain area and like what to expect because people generally do ask us about that.
Yeah,
all the
that is a
time.
very common
yeah.
question.
So if that's something people wants to cover like a little more in depth rather than damn bro, you really picked the ribs, you know, like we can do that.
I would love.
I
to
think
talk about
everybody
that.
should know that
I
we are
got
very
some
passionate
stories.
people about not getting your ribs tattooed.
I have some great stories.
Yeah,
about
we
placement.
can couple that with stories too. We can be like, this is a painful area. Example A.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if that's something people are interested in, is like a main podcast.
If you don't
topic.
believe me who says that the ribs are painful, you can ask the person that tapped out 4 times.
Yeah. Also, Mitch was with me when I got my ribs tattooed, so you can vouch for it.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I've
So.
seen that tattoo. That I have no desire for
Nope.
anything like that.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's a whole ass thing. Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Do we round it out with the Talon Man?
we've been going for a while.
Dude,
We're
if y'all want to hear Talon Man next week,
Yeah. If people are still interested by that point,
Dude, bring Ashley out for it.
okay. I actually told her that
next
I
week
wanted
is going to be
have her on.
pretty stacked, gentlemen.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
might.
fun.
Thought that was a reference to Ashley.
Why would no?
Oh, okay.
Gross.
Ashley is
No,
pretty
well,
stacked.
I think we'll have I think we'll have 2 extra people here next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Goodness gracious.
if we don't have her next week, we might do the week after. Because I did talk to her about being on the podcast. Because I wanted to kind of do an episode about like work-life balance and how like being around tattooers affects stuff and having like demanding jobs and stuff like that.
It's a drastic change if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I kind of wanted to have like someone's partner's perspective on the whole thing.
Yeah.
If y'all would be interested in that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm actually interested in that. It'd be cool to hear her thoughts
An outside perspective.
on old Chris over here. Out here tatting.
God.
Bro, there's some weeks where I feel like we ruined that poor girl's life.
Yeah.
Like, we're just sitting there. I'm like, Ashley, I need you to fucking move right now. I need to put the saran wrap on this fucking thing right now. She's like, I'm clean. I'm like, no, bro, I got to get this thing on here, bro. I need you to move.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want for dinner. I just made 14 permanent decisions. Like, I need to just.
Yeah, she does get really upset with me because she's like, you never make decisions. I was like, I do it all day.
Yeah, I get that one. Yeah, I'm like,
It's just a string of like, I don't know, man. I just made literal decisions because like all tattooing is a bunch of decisions. That's like 7 hours of that, and then you're asking me what I want for dinner. I'm like, bro, I don't fucking care. Please just pick something.
Just put the food in front of me.
And then she's like, please pick something. I'm like,
Why are you mad? We haven't eaten all day. Just please, God.
like please just get Qdoba.
Yeah, let's just get Qdoba again, please.
All right. You guys ready to close it out?
Yeah. Celebrity call out and a state, gentlemen.
New Hampshire. You ain't new.
Man. North Dakota and South Dakota. Why can't y'all just be one big Dakota?
Why can't you guys just be friends?
Why can't y'all just fucking get along?
For that matter, North and South Carolina.
Square ass looking motherfucker, bro.
I'm gonna go with Dave Navarro.
Who died and made him the authority on tattooing,
That's
man?
what I'm saying. They brought back Ink Master, which is funny because I actually know one of the people who's on this.
Yeah,
season.
shout out, dude.
So I thought that was pretty funny. I didn't
Dave
realize he was-
Navarro's over here like the composition's like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Can we do watch parties?
Dude, if y'all want us to set up a watch party thing, we have to lock it behind a paywall because we have to be like, we paid for this content so you can watch it and we not get copyrighted.
Maybe.
But I would watch Ink Master. I've never watched it.
Really?
I've only seen clips of it, and
It's
it's
a train
always
wreck.
looks
We can
like an
all
hour.
watch the
it's
train
fun.
wreck
It's
together.
like it's
It
like
is.
watching
Bro, if you do something for a living and then you gotta watch it,
It's
Like-
difficult. I will say one good thing though. You know who they got as a judge?
Yeah.
They got Nico Hurtado.
That's a good-
They
that was a good
actually
pick.
got a fucking authority on tattooing for once.
What were we gonna say, John? I didn't mean to cut you off a second ago.
oh that was pretty much it. I just it's fun. It's like watching The Bachelor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Brother
But
or
imagine
something.
if you were a player
Yeah.
for your job, and then you're like, I'm gonna watch this.
Shit.
So I watch this dude scam some bitches.
If you're a player for your job,
Everybody
It's like being a pimp.
everybody loves
What?
somebody.
Whoa, bro.
What? What?
Chris,
What
like,
do you
that's
mean?
a career too, guys. Like,
Pimping is a career.
Man.
And it ain't easy.
John just goes, man, come on.
I'm just
But
saying.
yeah,
Come
like I
on,
said, if we
man.
want to do some type of like watch thing,
Yeah.
we have to do it in a certain format.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name services because we have to pick one, and I want to be
Yeah.
like, it'll be this.
But I mean, if
If it's something you're interested in, I'll put a poll up.
okay, I'd be interested if people are. But,
That'd be fun. I'm cool with that.
I think it'd be funny.
Just know it's gonna be a lot of me.
Yeah, more for the fun of it than anything
Yeah.
else.
It's gonna be a lot of pause. What the fuck is this?
I'm just gonna hysterically laugh at that.
yeah.
That's
It'll probably just be us just laughing. and
that. Yeah,
stuff,
that
honestly.
was kind of where my head
We
went.
were
That,
we were
like-
downstairs like like a week ago. And we were just scrolling through some stuff. Just sorry.
Oh my god! Yeah, we
yeah,
were.
we-
There was at one point we were looking at.
Just
Oh yeah,
sorry.
we were.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
folder on my phone from that
Oh,
expedition.
Yeah, we do.
God.
It's pretty bad.
yeah, it would just be that.
But yeah, just like
truthfully.
that, and like people trying to make tattooing look super fucking tough.
Man, I'm about to put this fucking butterfly on my
You're good.
canvas's shoulder blade, and I'm just gonna go in here, man, with my 14 round shader, man. I'm just gonna go in here, man. I'm just gonna fucking put it in there.
No, it's more about like, and now you must pick the gold skull to pick your canvas. And then some girl named Tina being like, I'm gonna do my ribs no matter what.
Oh my god, I fucking love this already.
That's
And
dead
the guy
on.
being like, damn, I don't want Tina. She wants the fucking mermaid on her ribs. And then they're like, John, you're doing Tina. And he's like, fuck!
The
then
show
he
is
walks
not
over-
like real tattooing at
No,
all.
they walk
It's
over there,
so
they like
stupid.
begrudgingly shake hands. He's like, hi, anyway, I can talk to you out of this. And she's
I'm
like,
like,
no.
There's always some guy that looks like Eddie Gordo from Tekken in the background. He's like doing some breakdancing or something.
There's always like one.
I'm the greatest artist that has ever been.
Fucking dials in the background, like,
Yeah,
I need a trad
I
skull.
know, and I'm like, what is up? with
There's
this
like the 7 people that are just like show fodder. Like, you know that they're gonna be gone in the first 10.
Well, we gotta put him next to this other guy, make him look
They're
like Christ.
There's always a dude who's like clearly having a midlife crisis. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah, he's just defeat.
Is there
I'm on my
like the
second
guy who's like
divorce.
I was gonna retire 5 years ago from this craft, but I really want to be on the show.
Yeah, the
Now
guy
coming
who's
out of
quit
retirement.
tattooing like 4 times.
yeah, the guy who has a skullet, he just can't let it go.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
God.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Dude, let us know if you're interested.
Yeah, we'll do a watch party.
I'll
It'd be
put it
fun.
up. Like I said, it has to be a paywall, so I'm so sorry for that. But hey, Nimbronies, we love you. We appreciate you. Liz, have fun fighting the Lich King.
Hey.
And let's have a great week. We'll see you guys next week. Love you.
Love you. Bye.